I have deep concerns about U.S. intervention in Venezuela. But I wholeheartedly support the invasion of Greenland.
So true.
Trump threats stretch far and wide since his Venezuela strike. I'm kidding, by the way, but I'm sure that'll get taken out of context. Apparently, Trump has passively threatened to take Greenland by force and Iran. And now you've got a bunch of MAGA people tweeting out or posting on X, who's next? If we can remove a government in 90 minutes...
Yeah.
Oh,
it's worth knowing the 160th SOAR, basically the Night Stalkers, the guys that fly the choppers for the special forces. They've been making a lot of moves to Europe right now, and I've read a lot of chatter that says that there's a lot of special forces guys going to Europe.
They flew to the UK, right? I saw.
I think that was just a jumping off.
We
So
got
Greenland's next, you're saying?
I mean, maybe
we got the hot hand. It's like an NBA player
on.
knocks a few threes down. He's like, I'm gonna keep shooting. Who wants next? Let's take out.
Let's go to a big hill in Greenland and then just make a snowball and then just let it come down and blow it.
You got the hot hand. Let's take Kazakhstan.
We're not gonna.
All we'd have to do is place one flag in Greenland, and they couldn't do shit.
Why is Cambodia not ours?
Everyone here at Timcast is a neocon now. American exceptionalism, spread democracy.
John Bolton, I apologize for everything.
Ian's always
John Bolton, if you can hear me, please.
We're not. Listen. Don't take Greenland. Take Denmark, and you get Greenland.
That's a good point.
That keeps the Lego price down.
Yeah,
and
that's sweet.
I would love nothing more than to conquer Christiania. If you guys know what that is.
No,
what is Christiania?
You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
All of
Calm
Christendom?
down. It's a small
sites?
portion of Copenhagen that claims to be separate from the EU.
It's called a beachhead.
They call
Yeah, it's so true.
They declared independence, and when you go there, I've been there several times, and it's amazing. I'm kidding, by the way, about conquering them. It's just a great place, and there's good food.
Well,
and
I'm not kidding.
We could go and take over the Islamic Republic of the United Kingdom, and that'd be a great thing as well. I mean, just kidnap. They call him Keir Stalin. They call him Keir Stalin down there.
Yeah, apparently we can steal your president.
My problem with the U.S. invasion of the Islamic Republic of the United Kingdom is that the war would create a lot of refugees. Yeah, and I don't think the U.S. can handle that many Islamic refugees coming.
The dentists would be in a lot of work though. If the refugees come, we'd have a lot of dentists.
The braces manufacturing plants would go through the roof.
It would be insane. We'd be booming.
No,
business is booming.
And we don't have to worry about war brides.
You're actually. I got to counter. You're wrong.
They are chopped.
You're well. Actually, I don't know I don't know if Pakistanis' teeth are good or bad or whatever. My point is, at this point, if we were to invade the UK, we would get Muslim refugees.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be getting British refugees.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
My take on Greenland is that I know people are hyped up with with adrenaline right now, and it's like, look, the sneak attack worked. Okay, the Germans were able to take Poland fast, and then they snuck attack France. We could take Greenland, but you better believe the whole world, that would change everything about the liberal economic order's view of the United States. It would not be good. I want the land. I'd love to go to Greenland.
There's so much you can go to Greenland. It's not off limits.
Hold on,
I'd
guys.
love for it to be American.
Just need to say, I have deep concerns about the narco terrorists known as Jens Frederick Nielsen.
Oh, this guy's a problem.
That's the prime minister.
Isn't
that guy the...
Dude, I've heard they have a lot of snow down there, we can just take...
This narco terrorist, Jens Frederick Nielsen, gotta go.
Don't they make fentanyl
we have no
in
choice.
Yeah, apparently the polar bears are using coke.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's not a glacier.
It's cocaine bear, but it's polar bears. It's insane.
Okay, hold on, guys. In case it is not clear, Jens Frederick Nielsen is not a narco terrorist. He's just the prime minister of Greenland. It's a joke.
So if Trump took Greenland, if Trump issued a military attack on Greenland, in the Kingdom of Denmark, that would start World War III.
No, it
would. But it would give America. It would. China would take Taiwan. Russia would take.
No.
You know what would happen is Denmark would cut off the Ozempic supply, and we get really fat, and then they could take us.
Right. I think
China's not going to make a move if we fight with ourselves. Denmark is part of the Western power.
But if we seize, but let me finish this off. But it would give us an advantage in the war if we had Greenland. Yeah. So it would be tactically sound if you were going to start World War III.
Invading Denmark would not make World War III happen.
It just gives the casus belli to China.
No, it doesn't.
No, you don't think so?
China has no interests in Denmark.
No, it's in taking something. Everyone will take something. That's what happened with Mussolini.
China doesn't have a cause for war because within the Western powers we moved pieces around. Otherwise, war would have started yesterday.
Yeah.
Like there's conflict happening all over Europe and the United States.
It's the seizure of territory that kind of like makes it okay for others.
No, it doesn't.
China hasn't taken Taiwan because they can't yet. They have the justification, so to speak, from the Chinese perspective to take Taiwan. They just haven't done it yet.
They've claimed forever. The communists have said Taiwan is a part of China, and they're just in rebellion.
Yeah.
So they've already claimed the casus belli. They just can't do it.
Yeah.
So invading Denmark wouldn't change anything. We shouldn't invade Denmark, okay? But I can say, if Trump just sent a bunch of troops to Greenland, they can say whatever they want. I want to tell you guys. I've told this story before, but I'm gonna say it again because we're all adults here. When I was young, I had a friend, and I said, "Would you like to go skateboarding?" And he said, "I can't. I'm grounded." And I said, "Oh, what does that mean?" And he goes, "I can't go outside." And I'm like, "Oh, so what happens if you go outside?" "Well, I'll get grounded longer." "Okay. And then what happens if you go outside again?" "My parents would ground me forever." And I'm like, "I don't think you're following the logic here. Nothing is stopping you from going outside." My point is, if the U.S. marched into Greenland, Denmark would say a lot of things that would do literally nothing.
Yeah.
They'd say, "We're mad at you, the United States," and we'd say, "Okay, acknowledged."
They send in the Lego off, and
we could drop Lizzo on Greenland. It would be ours.
It's worth pointing out that
she would do a lot of damage. It'd be like,
we don't need to do any of that. We could literally just walk in and be like, "It's ours."
We're already there, guys. There's already a U.S. military base on Greenland.
They're sending in a mobilized dog sled unit. What do we do? It's like
the idea of taking Greenland. We already have military personnel there. We are, because Greenland is strategic. We monitor Russia from Greenland. It's not like we have to take it away. We're already present there.
As a total aside, someone just commented, "Lizzo lost half her body."
Yeah, literally.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah, and then as soon as Denmark cuts it off, she gets really big and takes up all the space and
Chris
suffocates
Christie.
us.
Let's just do Chris Christie. Chris Christie.
Also, like just from a geopolitical perspective, all the U.S. has to do is just threaten to like cut down our NATO funding, and then everyone else in NATO is gonna be like, Denmark just.
Hold on. I just think it actually would be really funny if what's the city in Greenland? Nook. Wouldn't it be really funny if like Marco Rubio just came out and said, "We've uncovered a fentanyl ring in Nook"? You're just like, bro, at this point, no.
He comes out with mittens on and like a big winter jacket.
My point is, the Venezuela thing's clearly not about drugs.
No.
And it's very silly, to Rubio and the administration, guys. It's not 2003 anymore. Okay, you're not going to come out and be like, "The drugs." Just tell us it's the oil.
I do think that they're being more honest about it than anything else. Like they picked up Maduro. That's the justification of the drugs. But like Trump was saying, it's about the oil. It's about the fact that they stole stuff. And there's one more point when it comes to Venezuela that I want to make. Like, in living memory, this was a thriving country with a capitalist society. There are people that are in their 50s that remember what it was like, so it's far more likely that these people are going to be like, "Yeah, we want to go back to the way that it was," than to say, "Oh, we want to see another another dictator."
It was the richest country in South America.
Yeah.
It was the richest. It has all the oil, all the gold, everything.
That's like being the gayest guy in San Francisco. It's Latin America.
That argument is what they'll say about Iran, too.
Yeah, but they were wealthy.
They'll say the Iranians used to be so flourishing before the Shah was removed, so we have the same right as we did in Venezuela.
I didn't say that we have the same right, and I'm not making the point that Iran is the same thing as Venezuela. Venezuela and Iran are two very, very different populations. There is a large percentage of Iran that doesn't like the Ayatollahs. There's a lot of people that consider themselves Persians. They don't consider themselves Iranians. They're having a massive civil unrest there now anyways. And I'm not saying that the U.S. should go in, although it might be happening considering what we talked about with the SOR, with the 160th going over to Europe.
And quick with the narco-terrorism thing, the reason, like, we know that this plan was hatched like 5-6 months ago, and it's been in development. So
6-7 months ago.
It's about 6 or 7 months ago. So the reason they were laying this out and saying this is like purely about drugs is because they knew they were going to black bag Maduro and bring him to the Southern District of New York. So you needed to have charges ready to go. You can't just charge him for being mean. That just doesn't stand up in court. You need to be airtight. Because we could try. We've seen because we've seen these courts like screw with.
And it's also worth noting. Look, the Biden administration put a $25 million bounty on his head. Yeah. Joe Biden's administration
did Trump collect it?
What?
Did Trump get the
No, what they should do, and I said this, he
goes to Biden's like, "I'd like my money."
Look, they should take that $25 million and they should give it to the guys that went in and got him.
True.
They should split it up among the Delta guys.
I'm going to say this. We should have Greenland.
I know. I don't understand why it's not ours.
I think it is the stupidest thing in the world that Trump goes like, maybe we'll buy Greenland or something, and the liberals are like, "Oh no, Trump's an imperialist invading." I'm like, what are you talking about? This is the history of all countries, of our country. Yeah. Now, if you want to argue that Trump going to Nook and just massacring civilians to seize territory is a bad thing. Agreed. But Trump negotiating terms that brings Greenland into the American fold is a good thing.
That I'm into. I'd love to buy it. I just don't know what that would cost.
Also, Denmark's like, it's not for sale.
Like,
$45.
That is not how we play. That's
And a
not how
pack
things
of
work.
cigarettes,
Yeah.
too.
I reject. I
couple of
despise
hot
this.
hand warmers.
Did you guys know that West Virginia's constitution allows for any bordering Virginian county to join West Virginia?
That's cool.
Because when they were creating it, they were neighbors, and they said, if you decide in the future you want to join, you can. And I was talking to a guy in West Virginia about it, and he says, yeah, but Virginia would never allow it. And I says, why do we as Americans accept the idea that a despot 500 miles away can tell us how to live when the foundation of this country was telling a despot 3,000 miles away he can't tell us how to live?
Yeah.
If the people of Nook say, we don't want Denmark, we want America, then Denmark can shove it.
But
the idea that the Danish are like, it's ours and you can't buy it, that's not up to you. If the 56,000 people in Greenland hold a legitimate vote and say, we don't want to be a part of your country, we want to join the United States, then Denmark can shove it.
It is true if that were real, but what they'll do is the CIA will send protesters over there, pay them. The whole USAID thing to make it seem like a color they really want it.
Conspiracy, Ian. Next thing you're going to
probably
tell me
never
is that
happened.
Israel attacked the
USS
Liberty.
yeah, like it went after one of our ships, an NSA spy ship in the
And
Mediterranean.
that
or
clip
something.
is going to be taken out of context, and they're going to claim that I was literally saying that there was
So-
no sarcasm.
I heard that
Israel bombed a carnival ship? What's going on?
Greenland's prime minister, at least I read on Twitter 4 hours ago, that he wants to parlay with the American government. He wants to make a deal of some sort, whereas the king of Denmark is saying, no, stop.
Right.
Greenland's
I
ours.
don't care what he has to say. I don't.
Well-
if look, there's in northern Colorado, there's a county that wants to leave because Colorado's oppressive, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
Well-
bro, if the city of Chicago voted to leave Illinois, I would say okay.
So I'm wondering if the prime minister of Denmark or of Greenland is realizing the writing's on the wall. Let's make a deal and get out of here. Let's leave and go to the U.S. If he's going to no longer be the prime minister within the next couple of weeks, if the king's going to have him removed through the governor general or whatever.
Well, one thing we got to consider here too is Greenland is this has been what the United States has been fighting against since its inception, is it's trying to buck the old world's order, like the way that the old world conducts themselves. And Greenland is really, the Danish inherited Greenland from their ancestors, from the Vikings who conquered all these territories and whatnot. And so it's the fact that they're even sovereign over it in the first place is hilarious, because the society that conquered Greenland in the first place is no longer there. The Danish now are just metrosexuals.
And,
know,
and
and
in my point of view, I think Greenland was promised to us 250 years ago.
So
That's what I heard.
Never mind that we were running
no,
Greenland when the
hold on.
Nazis took Denmark.
How would you guys feel about what's the yearly GDP of the United States? Like what's our spend? Like 2 trillion, right?
Yeah, something
Yeah, our
like that.
GDP is 6 trillion, I think.
But what's our actual federal budget?
Probably get it
Federal
from
budget is-
U.S.
no,
debt
six-
clock.
it's 6 trillion. I think.
67 trillion?
6 or 7 trillion. Yeah.
Really?
No, it's
No,
like
it's
6
not.
trillion.
That's our
The
debt.
6-7
There's
means
a
is
lot.
strong.
Or 6 billion. Yeah.
Dude, I've
So
been hanging out
I'm-
with
so
6-7
here's my
Kevin,
pitch.
and then 6-7 went
6.8
nuts.
trillion.
$6.8 trillion.
Okay, it was 6 to 7.
GDP.
Yeah.
It
I got a
literally
pitch.
was almost
Show.
there.
We are going to give every individual, including babies,
Ooh.
in Greenland $1 million
Yeah.
to join the United States. There's 56,000. It'll cost us $56 billion to give them $1 million each.
It reminds me of that video of Donald Trump buying those kids on the SNL skit. He's like, "I'll buy your kids. We'll buy Greenland and your
Look,
kids. They're gonna be ours."
If the U.S. does that, the calls for reparations are going to be going through the roof.
I don't
People
care.
will be PO'd.
I'm in favor of, I can't remember the dude we had on the show, but I was like, hey, I got an idea. We got all this land owned by the federal government, by the Bureau of Land Management. How about we divvy that up amongst the black population, descendant of slaves, and give you your mule? And he was like, he was a social justice guy, and he goes, okay. And then I was like, hey, look, my attitude is the federal government shouldn't have it, the people have, and I don't care how the people get it. So if the argument is y'all want reparations, 40 acres and a mule, let's take it from the federal government because it's all this territory in the Rockies that's being held by the government that we can't have access
40
to.
acres in a Dodge Charger.
Yeah.
Oh
Let's
my
go.
gosh.
Let's think bold.
Neon
See
green.
outside the box. Let's go Liberia 2.0. We move Greenland. We make it like the black ethno state. It'd be a great thing, I think.
Wakanda.
They're not going
We
to
literally have
Greenland.
Yeah, we
Wakanda.
Cold.
install Flava Flav as prime
Actually-
minister. It'd be great. Yeah, well, that'd be fantastic.
Wakanda is in Illinois, I think, right?
No,
I think it's Atlanta,
it's like
right?
south of Chicago, I believe, right?
I don't think it's south.
We rename Nook to Wakanda. It'll be great. BET can set up. It's gonna
Is
be
it
great.
south? I
It's
think it's
gonna be
north.
this one.
It's north, I think.
Oh, Wakanda. Oh, yeah.
We used to go to Wakanda all the
I
time.
didn't know that.
It's funny when people are like, haha, Wakanda. I'm like, yeah, it's northern. It's near McHenry.
Oh, my buddies from there.
Northwest.
Kanye
Chicago
West will
suburb.
be the Black Panther.
Yeah.
The
Bro,
problem.
people don't realize, but we're not joking. Wakanda is a suburb in
Oh my
northwest
gosh.
Chicago.
No way, dude.
Yeah, Wakanda.
Well, now we have to
holding all
invade
the,
and get their vibranium.
Yeah, vibranium's there, 100%.
Deep,
very small.
deep underground.
Anyway,
You know,
I'm just saying Greenland is ours.
The issue with Denmark, just this little dinky country that controls this huge piece of land, like why do they have that from 200 years ago? Well, the British own Australia. Should they also lose Australia?
Well, the
British own Canada, should they also lose Canada? Like Charles is the king of Canada. Should he lose Canada too?
You know what I love?
Can we
this
take
too
Canada?
Technically,
You know what I love
how
about
fixated he
the
is
Commonwealth
on that.
is that it is when you look it up, the people who live in Commonwealth countries are delusional. And Ian brought this up a long time ago, and you're correct that King Charles is the king of Canada, and he does have the authority to dissolve Parliament, just like he does in the UK. And however, although it's written down he can, whenever you ask someone from there, they go, he can't. And I'm like, now the question is, why do you think he can't? Because he can't. No, but it's written down that he can. The king of England is also the king of Australia and Canada and New Zealand, all these Commonwealth countries. And it's written down he can. And you just say no, but he can. Like,
Well, because
I don't care who the king is. The Canada is the United States property. Like whether they like it or not,
really.
they don't even have an army.
Also-
like they have like 30 airplanes or something like that. They're not a real country.
And the monarchy is like so cucked because it's like if he's like, I'm dissolving Parliament in Canada, like whatever, the Canadian Parliament just go, no. And
Wait,
then
I
like,
just-
well, how can he enforce that? There's no way.
The redcoats
I
are
just
coming.
figured it out. I just figured it out. So on this channel, I think we have like 2.6 something million subscribers. And I got the Timcast News channel is like 1.9, almost 2. The original Timcast channel is about 1.5. I got 2.5 million on X. So if you add it all together with like Facebook and Instagram, we did the math. It's around 10 million. Can we get out of 10 million people,
a GoFundMe,
60,000 people to move to Greenland?
Yeah.
And then vote to join the United States?
squatters' rights.
We can.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
The
see any
answer is
point.
yes.
Just send all the homeless from California there. It's like, guys, just hang out here when it's time to vote. Get clean long enough so you can make it to the polling station.
We'll give you a little bit of crack money. You'll be fine.
It'll be great.
I know this segment isn't about Canada, but we got to reform the conversation about Canada to make them want to join the U.S. instead of being a British puppet.
we do not want
you-
Canada to be the
the way
United
you
States.
make them want to join is by subjugating them and telling them to say it. And it doesn't matter what they feel; it matters that they just say it.
I don't think so. We've tried that the last 2 years. They got scared and then they were like, China, save us. But dude, you don't want to be a British puppet. What? You don't want a king?
Well,
you want to be free
they're-
people.
So it's better to be a Chinese puppet. Come
better
on.
to be an
They had a
American
no
free
kings
man.
protest
They're
in
literally
the
an
UK
India
and in
puppet
Canada.
now.
It's
Well,
like,
in Canada
okay.
they call it something else because they have a king.
Well, I think it was like no dictators or something. Something
it
like
was
that.
something they changed, like it
Yeah.
was like no empire.
Well, because
or
the
something.
reason Canada has a monarchy is not because they feel like this distinct connection to their Anglo history and they want to maintain that connection. It's because Canadians are like the most insecure people on planet Earth because their society is pretty much identical to the United States in every way. If you look around the world, there's not two countries more culturally similar than the United States and
Well,
Canada.
it's changing now.
Well, it's changing. Obviously,
You
it's
see
becoming
all the
very Indian.
Indians.
But that, to that point is like because of that insecurity, they have to latch on to whatever does make them distinct from the United States. So the only reason they have the monarchy is purely out of spite. Like that's the reason why Canada's monarchy, like pro monarchy people are typically left wing, and then the pro republic people are typically right wing. Yeah. That's not the case anywhere else on Earth. But in Canada, they suddenly turn into these like trad with our Anglo history and blood, and it's like, dude, they just hate America, and that's so gay. And we should take them for that.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.